Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Red Sea Roundup. I'm your host today, Judy Comeaux. I'd like to welcome you. Hey, Dennis, how's it going this morning?
Howdy, Judy. Good morning to you.
How's everything?
Doing well. I'm
Awesome.
doing well. Feels like a Tuesday. It doesn't feel like a Monday, which is great.
Really? All day? Half
All
the
day.
night?
Hopefully today, all day will
half
be
the
Tuesday.
night. Yeah. How's everything going?
It's going very well. We're
Good.
staying busy this summer, busier than I think any parent that I talk to and anybody. Everybody's like, what is happening this summer? It's a busy summer.
Oh,
So
I was like, really?
know if that's the way
Is it
for you or
really
not.
the 28th? Is it really this far gone already?
I already start liking to pull out the card of like, wow, school's just around the corner, kids. Can you believe it?
I
Like,
can't stand it. I can't stand
And
it.
so I started teasing them with it.
I'm a bigger brat than the kids are. I can't stand it.
No, I don't look forward to the summer ending specifically, but I just look, I'm a pest.
It's a different. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Are you really?
I don't know if you noticed that.
I have not. I'll start looking for it a little bit
Judy
more.
was just actually saying mean things to me before the show. So, that's kind of how we are.
That's our personality. We love it. I understand Anthony and Amber got to go to Aggie Awakening.
Oh, wow. That was a wonderful experience for them. They loved Aggie Awakening. And so we were waiting to see if any of that Somerville magic, made my son who's in the seminary catch his eye on some little girl there, since that's what I met Darby.
That was I could see doves flying all around you.
Yeah, I know quite a few couples that actually met in good old Somerville, Texas there on the Awakening. But no, very much he and Amber both loved the Aggie Awakening.
As Katie Swatek did.
That's right.
As well.
Lots of people we know.
For her.
Lots of people we know were able to
Barbara
make it.
tells me she wants to go to Tyler to go to reconciliation once a month now.
Oh, because there was a
priest there that she really especially
Father
connected.
Charles Vreeland. I don't know if you knew him. He was at St. Anthony's for a while saying, when we had the Latin choir going.
Yeah?
Yeah, he was a part of that. When Amy
as
Voorhees,
a seminarian?
No, not yet. So way back when. So,
wow. That's great.
My kiddos always called him Charlos because that's all that Allison could say instead of Charles. So now he's Father Charlos to us. So yeah, we're very happy that he's here in Texas, and yeah, he's incredible. Wonderful priest, good friend of ours. So he's a local Aggie priest. So
that's great.
We had a great experience on the retreat, and it's neat to see that your kids are making a retreat, 82 retreats after, I made my original Aggie Awakening.
So you went to the retreat?
Yep, Aggie Awakening.
No,
22.
over this one, isn't there an opportunity for parents or somebody to go and be a part of it?
No, not on this retreat specifically. There used to be some flexibility in who they'd let in.
Okay. I thought someone
a little tighter on that now, but
child was giving a talk or something, and they were
yeah,
able to go
that has happened. That the parent can come if their kid's giving a talk and kind of sit in the back. I've heard of that before for sure. So
great.
Yeah,
deal.
so it's pretty neat.
I went to Mass at Christ the Good Shepherd Sunday and got to meet. I didn't get to meet Father Darrell, but I got to see him. And
Costilla? Yes. Is that how you say his last name?
I don't know. He's from Westphalia. I know that. I did listen to. He's a semi-local guy.
I'm looking forward to meeting him. Welcome to town.
Absolutely. I wanted, and I'm not going to know the exact details of all of this, but the newly ordained, if you ask them for their blessing, you receive a plenary indulgence after you go to reconciliation and receive the Eucharist. I'm all about that.
Oh, yeah. That's incredible.
I didn't want to interrupt him in the Eucharistic minister after Mass, so I'll get him at another time. I'm sure there's no window.
What's nice thing about that, and for sinless people like you, Judy, you can actually offer that plenary indulgence to people like me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or the Holy Souls.
Yeah.
Or actually, I'll just hand it over to the Blessed Mother and let her take care of it because she's got such a wonderful perspective. So.
Amen to that.
Yes,
amen
indeed.
to that. Can I break in on the community events and say one of our own?
Could I stop you if I said no?
You are a few people in the earth that probably could.
Okay, but I'm going to say yes.
Yeah. Sometimes I remark and I laugh about certain things at WWJD, and a lot of people say, "What would Jesus do?" There was one thing that I did once that I can't remember. Oh, I know. I was supposed to go to Revive or not go to Revive and help, and I was so tired. And I go, "Okay, WWJD, what would Judy do?" And so I said, "Oh, dang that Judy Comeaux."
That'll get you in trouble.
And I loved it. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So what you got?
Red Sea Catholic Radio is having our annual benefit dinner coming up mid-October. So save the date. That's all I want to tell people. October 15th. Actually, I lied. That's not all I want to tell people.
It never is.
Save the date for Steve Ray.
It's going to be wonderful.
Man, if
Great
you have
speaker.
never heard Steve Ray speak, listen to some of our promo spots. Even if that's only 30 seconds of Steve Ray, you're going to go, wow, that guy is incredible. So I actually, when he was here 6 years ago to basically announce
Wasn't that the
to the
kickoff?
community,
Yeah.
that we're going to have Catholic radio, he did our speaking then. And I had the privilege of driving him back to the Austin airport, and just, that man's incredible. And he is just, as you hear him, that's how he is in person. He's just a wonderful person that is on fire for the faith and knows so much, and is just presents it in a very dynamic and excited way. All of my kids are very excited to hear from him. He does the entire Footprints for God video series. If you've ever seen that, that's a beautiful video series on everything about the faith, but it takes you to the Holy Land and the places that it occurred. And so you're walking in the footprints of God. And so he's just an incredible presenter, and he's going to present on Peter, the Rock, Keys, and Chair. And so our theme for the benefit dinner on October 15th will be Viva il Papa. So we're going to be celebrating the papacy and everything from St. Peter all the way to Pope Francis. And so, you know, with the gathering on the family, the world gathering of families, and the synod happening a couple of weeks before that, that will be a very interesting and important topic of conversation. So
yeah, when you were talking about driving him back to the airport or whatever, I got to go pick up Patrick Madrid last year, and so it was like, oh, we're going to have this, you know, wonderful spiritual conversation and all this, and we talked about the hay bales.
Yeah.
And the what.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's a great down-home person as well.
Some youth ministry folks from this area were all at the St. John Bosco conference in Steubenville, Ohio, and Jeremy Stavanoha, the middle school youth minister at St. Anthony's, was just saying how they were playing Frisbee and they saw Scott Hahn, and someone was like, hey, you want to play Frisbee with us? And it just made his day. You know, no one was asking him for an autograph or, come take my picture and all that. He just got to play. They're just regular folks.
Most of these Catholic speakers are I'd say most, not all, but most of the Catholic speakers that are around are very down home and very, very approachable and very much wanting to get to know anybody and everybody that comes up to them. So
save the date,
October 15th. It's at St. Thomas Aquinas Parish Activities Center. And since we're not at St. Anthony's, we outgrew that facility.
Yay.
We can actually serve Italian food now. I didn't dare do that at St. Anthony's. That wasn't even an option. So we're going to serve some Italian food because it's Viva il Papa. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but you know.
Well, as long as it's not another word, as long as it's not another word in the same language that would get you in trouble, then I think you'll be just fine.
Just correct me if I say something wrong, but as you always would. So, but yeah, save the date, and you can actually not only save the date, you can reserve your tables if you want to reserve a table, or individual tickets online now at redsearadio.org/benefit.
Awesome.
We look forward. It's been a blast. We've filled our seats every one of the years we've had, all 3 years before, and so we're going to go to capacity again this year.
Yes, we will. So I want to talk to the listeners about a few things that are going on around the community.
Okay, let's hear it.
And thank you to my predecessor last week for printing out the notes so I could have a little bit to work from.
Gene is awesome.
And yes, he is. And the first thing that really caught my eye that I would like to talk to about is, as we just said, the summer's drawing to an end, and we probably all know how many days is left before our school starts. Well, it's the same countdown as to when religious education kicks off in all the parishes. And I have been involved in youth ministry for a long, long time. And at one time I was the parent that dropped their kids off and went and did something else while that was going on. But every parish can use your help, even though maybe you taught religious education for many years and feel like and certainly not to discount that contribution, but we still need a lot of help. You have the opportunity to express your love for Christ and his body and the church by volunteering at the many religious education classes as it kicks off. No experience is needed, just a desire to help young people learn more about Christ and his church. And all you have to do is ask anyone at the parish, contact the parish office. I do have some personal contact information at St. Anthony's, the director of religious education, slow down, Judy, is Beth Coles. You can contact her at bcowles@saintanthony.org. The high school youth minister is Barbara Swatek, bsvatek@saintanthonys.org. And the middle school youth minister is Jeremy Stavinoha. Now I have to spell that, I suppose. JSTAVINOHOA, I think, at saintanthonys.org. The religious education director at St. Thomas Aquinas
I believe is OHA. You said HOA.
Well, I guess Marion's dyslexia may come from me.
It was good, though. Jeremy's a great guy.
Yes, he is. The religious education director at St. Thomas Aquinas is Terry Duhan. You can reach her at children@stabcs.org. Reading that, they have ABC in there. I never have seen that before. To be involved in religious education, of course, we have to be trained and go through ethics and integrity classes. And thankfully, we have some opportunities. So if you already are involved in ministry and need a refresher course, or you want to get involved for the first time, these classes are being offered in Bryan and College Station several times in August and September. The diocese requires that all volunteers attend ethics and integrity training in order to protect our young people. The basic course is 3 hours long, and every 3 years, the refresher course is a shorter. You can take the basic class Friday, August 14th from 9 to noon at St. Joseph's in Bryan, or Saturday, August 29th, 9 to noon at St. Thomas Aquinas in College Station. The refresher classes are being offered Thursday, August the 6th, Thursday, August 13th, and Thursday, September the 3rd. You can check your parish bulletins for more details.
I'm signed up for the August 6th one, I believe.
I'm good to go. You know, I really dread having to go to them, but every time I go, it's a wonderful reminder of our responsibility and be looking at all directions while you're teaching and all of that. Couple of opportunities for our youth in the very, very quickly is tomorrow.
Oh.
That's always fun.
Pay attention.
Yes, tomorrow at 9 a.m., community kickball game is going on.
Ooh, that's fun.
9 a.m.
Where's that?
It's held out at the St. Joseph Athletic Complex at 9 a.m. You can contact John Valentino or anyone at CCFM to get more details. And also, tomorrow evening at St. Anthony's Youth is having their end of the summer H2 Olympics. And if you...
I did not know about that yet.
That's a cool acronym also, H2 Olympics, all run together. It actually has holy in the very beginning. That was kind of cool. But we're having that over at our youth minister's house, Barbara Swatek, 200 Redbud. Give us a call if you're going to show up. It's going to be great from 5 to 7.
5 to 7.
Yes. The next opportunity of something going on in our local community is this Saturday, August the 1st. The Catholic Family Fraternal will sponsor their 17th annual community charity fundraiser garage sale.
Benefiting Red Sea Catholic Radio and St. Joseph Catholic School and is it Mount Calvary?
I give up. You tell me.
No, if not Mount Calvary, I know 40 Days for Life has been a part of that charity. But, you know, you got to benefit the radio. So, you know, come out and help.
Absolutely.
And shop.
Contact St. Joseph's Church for more information.
I know that they're doing setup tomorrow night at 6 o'clock at the elementary school, setting up tables. They need a lot of help then. And 10 to 6 on Thursday, they need donations and helpers to do sorting, and 10 to 3 on Friday as well.
And you can
just almost
just drive through and
yeah,
hop out, and people will come and help unload your donations and everything. It's a great opportunity.
So come donate, come help. This will be a great event. And it's not in the usual location of the St. Joseph's right next to the church. It's one block to the east at the elementary school this year.
Okay. Seeing as how people are blowing up my phone, I think they're trying to tell me something.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be there if you want to have anybody that comes out. We need guys tomorrow night to help set up a lot of the tables. That's the biggest event, or the biggest need for the muscles, I guess, is on Wednesday night at 6:00. So come out there and help us set up for that garage sale. The KJZT people have been big donors over the last several years to our benefit, to our benefit, that is, at Red Sea Catholic Radio. And it's not something I ever asked for. It just, they said, hey, would you like us to do this? We're like, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a great event, and they've been very generous to us over the last several years. So
cool. Very well. Evidently, I didn't cover the H2 Olympics the way
you're being
my
told.
Best friend would like me to say it. So
Hi, Barbara.
I'm gonna just kind of read the text that she gave me. On-air announcement in parentheses.
Okay.
Attention, all high school teens or recent high school graduates. This is my radio voice I'm using. How do you like it?
I'd like it.
Tomorrow night, Wednesday, July 29th, from 5 to 7, H2 Olympics is back at St. Anthony's. We had such a blast last year, and that we did. The teens asked to do it again. Bring a friend, a towel, a squirt gun. Come prepared to get wet. It's going to be held at the Swatek home, which is 200 Redbud, and it does work on the GPS in Bryan. Please dress modestly. This is our final fun event of the season. Don't miss it, with 3 exclamation points.
Amber went last year, and she said it was actually crazy fun.
We did have a bunch of time. And plus the benefit of having a pool to just jump into as
that's
you go
nice.
from there.
Versus the mud puddle that was at St. Anthony's
Absolutely. Very good. And the other best friend that's texting, I'm going to talk about last month. If you listened to my program, Terry Lipscomb was here, and we talked about a devotion to the Holy Souls and Purgatory. And now I've got to click.
Oh,
on
now
her.
she's going to want to do the
Yes.
announcements. Have them call. Barbara and Terry, call in. I'm making sure y'all haven't tried to call in.
Oh.
Call in, and you can do
They
the
can say
announcements. Yeah, 85 Love Red Sea at any time during our show, 855-683-7332, 85 Love Red Sea, and you would be able to give that announcement completely in your own voice. But I think Judy's going to go ahead
Let me
now.
channel my inner Terry.
Oh, good luck with that.
We'd like to invite you on next Friday, First Friday, August the 7th, to a morning of prayer for the Holy Souls. We will begin with the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass at 8:15 in St. Joseph's Chapel. We will then move into the main church for Stations of the Cross. After that, we will have a short reflection on the 30-day novena for the Holy Souls in our My Life in Prayer book, and we'll conclude with the Rosary using the meditations from Susan Tassoni. And for those of us who just can't stop sharing their love and devotions, where would be the most logical place for us to have lunch? Must be heaven. Contact Terry Lipscomb or Judy Comeaux for more information. What would Judy do? Ha, 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 she says.
Hey, it got me to do something good for once.
Absolutely. Another opportunity for our high school youth at St. Joseph's is their end of the summer lock-in. Friday, August 14th from 10 p.m. to August 15th, 7 a.m. It's going to be held at the St. Joseph Retreat Center and Athletic Complex. Bring a flashlight, bug spray, towel, and a change of clothes if you choose to play in the paint war. Who wouldn't? The cost is $30 per student, $25 for siblings. On or before Friday, July 31st. The cost goes up to $40 after that. Contact John Valentino for more information.
You got any more announcements? I got about 20 seconds.
I think that we should just go on and go to break.
Fade out to the music. That sounds great.
Got to juke just a little bit.
We got some
too.
great guests coming up from St. Joseph Catholic School, so stay tuned to Red Sea Roundup.
How's it going? welcome back to Red Sea Roundup. I'm here in the studio with our guest from St. Joseph's Catholic School. Jim Reich is the principal at the elementary campus, and Blake Evans is the principal at our secondary campus. And we sure would welcome any phone calls with questions or comments. And you can call our studio phone at 85 Love Red Sea. That's 855-683-7332. And welcome, guys. Jim, I know you a little bit better than I do Blake, and I still want to call you Mr. Reich, even though.
That's okay.
Yeah, good. Welcome, Jim. Tell me a little bit about yourself and what keeps you coming to St. Joseph every day, actually. And
true passion and love for Monsignor in the school, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm Jim Reich. This will be my second year as the elementary principal. This will be what's something I think Blake and I was our 7th or 8th year?
7th year.
7th year. We came in together back in 2008 and 9, and I was a teacher at the history. I taught history, junior high, and high school, and moved into administration. And then last year was my first year to come down the elementary. I absolutely fell in love with the kids and fell in love with that campus, and very happy to be down there again.
And you're an alumni, right?
I am. I attended school from preschool all the way to 8th grade, and if we had, I guess, high school, I would have stayed longer, but we went to, it just wasn't built up to where it is now, like it is now. And but yes, very, very happy and pleased to, and proud to be an alum.
Awesome. And I also know that you play the drums.
I do,
which has nothing to do with your job, but being a musician, I'm always like, really?
Yeah.
You should play with Elvis Costello. You got that clean cut, image, but
well, thank you.
Probably rock it a little bit, yeah.
I try to.
Yeah, well, tell us why you're here and the exciting changes that are going on over at St. Joseph's.
Well, the biggest change and the most exciting, of course, is that we've got the Pre-K 4 program that's coming back over to the elementary campus. The Early Learning Center has done a fantastic job. Emily Kemp over there, the director of the Early Learning Center, and all the teachers over there have done such a great job with having the Pre-K program over there. But we decided that we needed to have them back into a school environment, not so much a daycare environment. Research says that a Pre-K 4 program increases the child's chances of succeeding in school. They're less likely to be held back a grade or the need for any kind of special education. In fact, I was reading an article just earlier I guess it was last week, and it said today's kinder is yesterday's first grade. And with the more academics that are being presented in kindergarten, children must learn a pre-academic foundation for formal reading before they get to kindergarten. So in preschool, they're going to get, they're going to be familiar with books, they're going to be exposed to new words, the use of language. But then in addition to their academics, it's also going to build on their social skills and the social skills that they need to get the most out of school, such as learning how to pay attention and interacting with their peers. And we think by bringing them back over to the elementary campus, it gets them familiar a whole year. It gets them a whole year familiar with the school, with the rules and procedures, just the layout of the land. Kind of gets them familiarized. It familiarizes them so when they get to kindergarten, they can
that transition
exactly.
It'll
be a much more smoother transition. Exactly. So we're really excited. I can't wait to see the little ones running. Well, they won't be running around the halls, but walking around the halls.
Because none of my kids are that age anymore. But we had a great experience at both of my girls went to kindergarten and transitioned like that. So, is it a throwback to what used to be here, or is it very similar to that? Or tell me about.
Well, just in my history, yes. I attended preschool there, and it was part of the school. And then when I first came to work for St. Joe's, the preschool was part of the school. And then over the course of 7 years, it's kind of gone back and forth from the school environment to a daycare environment, and back to the school environment. And I think it's split into a school and daycare. I mean, it was. They've been really trying to, I guess, figure out what's best, what's the best practice, and we're always trying to stay ahead of what public education is doing, and it looks like it's. I mean, if keeping up with public education in the state of Texas, schools, I would not be surprised in the next years that schools are going to be required to have a preschool. in to offer the communities in the Brazos Valley. I know in Navasota they already do that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
in Bryan, there's a couple schools that have preschool programs.
Mhm.
A lot of them are only half days, and we just, we think it's better. Let's do the full day and let's get them started.
Okay, and it's no partial. You could go part day. You could go.
No, so it's not a daycare. So
Right.
it's definitely a school. So you can drop them off as early as 7:15. School starts at 7:45, and they get out at 3:00. And we've got after school care services afterwards till 6:00. But it's full day. They will take a nap though.
Both of my daughters went to Mother's Day out at St. Anthony's, and we were always invited to have a tour of the school and bring them over there. And Miss Ford and Miss Runyon were the teachers there, and
they were the preschool teachers.
Yes.
Whenever it was back at the school.
Right, exactly. So both my daughters had Miss Runyon. I didn't know I made this big deal about glitter, and so when we went to this next tour with my second daughter, she was like, "Oh, and I'm so sorry that Mrs. Comeaux is here because our craft involves glitter." So who would someone contact with if they had more questions or
me?
To come?
Contact me.
Yay.
And you can call
How
the
would we do
school.
that?
You can call the school at the elementary campus at 822-6643. Unfortunately, I'm the only one in the office. The administrative assistant, Denise Shaw, she will be returning in about 2 weeks. And I can't wait for that. She's fantastic. She runs that school. I just look like I do.
As all the secretaries at all the campuses do.
Absolutely.
Of course.
But you can please call the school, 822-6643. If I don't answer, please leave a voicemail. I check it often throughout the day. And then, of course, email. Email's fantastic. It's jrike, R-I-K-E, at stjosephbcs.org. That is S-T Joseph BCS as in Brazos, as is Bryan College Station.org. And so email, phone call, those are the best ways.
Awesome. Great. Yep. Well, Blake, tell me a little bit about yourself and your job requirements there, and share with us changes that are going on in your area.
Yeah. First of all, thank you guys for having us on. It's always fun being here, and good morning to all the listeners out there. But yeah, we made a lot of changes this summer. We've starting with the biggest change is we were opening up a true junior high school, which was really exciting. It kind of some things kind of played out and fell in our lap, and I've been poking Monsignor John for the last couple of years to try to do this, and so something kind of fell in our lap, and so I forced him to make a move on it, and so we did, and we transitioned this summer into turning an older part of our school into a true junior high that's separate from the rest of the secondary campus. So we did lots of work down there, ordered all new technology. We bought brand new laptops, Chromebooks for all of our students to use down there. We bought all new furniture down there. We flipped that whole area around, all the bells and whistles, and it looks phenomenal down there. And I can't wait to get the students back on campus. Some of the students have been coming in for sneak peeks, and when they walk down there, it's they can't believe how different it looks down there after all the work we did this summer. So we got some new teachers down there. We changed up the curriculum a little bit. We moved the 6th grade over to the secondary campus, and part of the reason for that was kind of the same reasons Mr. Reich talked about with the pre-K. We've been talking about this for a couple of years now, and 6th grade is that kind of weird transition year for those kids, both academically and socially. But the more research we did, and we've talked to several principals and several superintendents, and just trying to figure out what the best thing to do for our students was. And after doing all the research and looking at all the what some of the other schools were doing, we just thought it was best to have that transition with the 6th graders on the junior high campus, being with the 7th and 8th graders, mostly for social reasons, but academically too. The way the classes are set up, they're more set up to get them ready for high school.
Because it seems like it was 6th grade, it was junior high for a while, and then the thought process was, they're not quite ready.
Right, exactly.
Let's keep them over at the elementary campus. And, you must feel very strongly about it if you're willing to poke Monsignor.
Yeah, over the last couple of years, we, Mr. Reich and I have had this conversation a lot. It just seemed like when our seventh graders were coming over to the junior high campus, they only had 1 year of transition, and it felt like they were behind a little bit socially. And, academically they were fine, but it was just that transition going up to being structured all the time at the elementary school, and then kind of having that a little bit of freedom, when you get to that campus where there's no one telling you, walking you to class, they depend on you to get there on your own and things like that.
Is there some flexibility in the curriculum? Do they get to choose their classes?
Yeah, it's one they get to pick their electives now. They move around to different teachers, and they were doing a lot of that. The elementary teachers, when they were at the sixth grade, were trying to get them ready for that. But that environment is totally different when you put them in that environment, and everyone is doing that. So I think that transition year is really important in sixth grade rather than seventh grade, because in seventh grade it takes them a whole year to make that transition. So by the time they get into eighth grade, it's time to get ready for high school. And
Gotcha.
So we figured that extra year really helps.
So kind of describe what a day would be like at the junior high. That's going to be different this year.
We start offering sports in junior high for all of our kids. We start offering more extracurricular activities with band and choir and things like that. So we really amped up our technology classes down there, so they have more options there to take more computer classes. We're integrating Spanish into our curriculum, so we're, of course, the sixth graders and seventh graders coming over have been on that course. We started it at the elementary school, and now it's kind of pushing through the high school. So that's been a fun transition to see that. We offer Latin for our junior high kids, and we have some new math and English teachers down there, and so I'm really excited to see where our curriculum takes us. We've improved it quite a bit over the last couple of years, but now we're in those years where we're going to kind of start seeing with some of our testing that we do exactly where our scores are, and I'm really excited to kind of see where we're at after
Awesome. You mentioned Chromebooks. I know absolutely nothing what that is.
I didn't either, so don't feel bad.
Okay.
We had to do some research. We were trying to figure out what kind of computers we were going to put down there at the junior high, and so we did some research, talked to some other schools, and figured out that Chromebooks were the best thing to use for junior high kids. Apparently, they can't really mess them up, which is good. So it was just one of those, it was a smart financial decision for us, and it was what all the other schools were using, but I'm not going to sit here and say I'm an expert on them either. So don't feel bad that you don't know anything about them. So
that's okay. That's okay. So what other changes in the rest of the school has taken place by making this transition to having this junior high separate and all of that? Has that caused some...
Yeah, one of the things we did this summer was I had the last couple of years I've been the athletic director and principal, and it's got to a point where our program is growing so much that it's gotten really hard for me to do both. So I've had an assistant athletic director the last 2 years, so we promoted him to athletic director and head football coach this year. Kyle Alexander is our new athletic director. And then on the secondary side, we've added some things. I have a teacher that's teaching half the time and then is doing our student services half the time, which is something we didn't have last year. And that person is invaluable to the school because they plan all the activities and all the field trips and all the service retreats and things like that. So we added that this year, and then we did a lot of work throughout the school this year. We painting and hanging pictures up, and the school looks phenomenal right now. I kind of don't want the kids to come back and mess it up. I'm just kidding. But it looks really good down there, and it just kind of stemmed off of everything we were doing in the junior high. And I have to say my staff worked incredibly hard this summer trying to get that campus cleaned up and look as good as possible. Well,
just to back up just a little bit, you kind of went straight into talking about the school and didn't really tell us too much about yourself and where you came from and what your history. Tell me a little bit about yourself. And
like Mr. Reich said, I'm going in my 7th year. I started at St. Joseph as the athletic director and head football coach, and that's all I've ever wanted to do since I was 10 years old. And I kind of wonder sometimes, as people often say, I wonder if whenever you tell your plans to God, he laughs at you, because that's kind of what happened to me at St. Joseph. Started off as AD, head football. Had no intentions of ever really moving into administration on that side, but started working for a president a couple of years ago with Miss Pelletier, and she encouraged me to start to make that move. So I did, kind of actually as a favor to her. We still really wasn't interested in it, but then started doing it, and the last couple of years have absolutely loved it. Couldn't see myself doing anything else, and that's why I say I feel like this is what I was supposed to do, as the good Lord often does, know what we're supposed to do. And like I said, I think He laughs at us when we try to tell Him, what our real plans are, but transitioned into the principal. So I'm going into my second year as principal. So I was started as athletic director, head football coach, moved to assistant principal, and then now as the principal at the secondary campus.
And is there going to be activities that the entire high school and junior high would do together, or is it going to?
Yeah, we do some things together. We go to mass together once a week.
Okay. And, if you could elaborate on the mass schedule that's going to go on
absolutely.
over there, and
we're separating our masses, which we haven't done in the past. Our junior high and high school has gone to mass together, but we're going to do something a little bit different this year. Whereas the high school is going to have just a high school mass on Tuesdays. Our junior high kids are going to have a mass on Wednesdays by themselves, and then we'll have an all-school mass on Thursdays or the first Friday of the month, whichever it kind of falls in there. But it still allows our kids to go to mass twice a week and then 3 times a week on first Fridays. But we have a mass that's dedicated just for the junior high kids and just for the high school kids. And, after talking to Monsignor and the importance of how he can direct the homilies to those kids when they're separated like that, I kind of didn't underestimate it, but didn't realize how different it was when the priests prepare their homilies for those age groups. So I'm really excited to see how that works out for our kids.
Yeah, and you mentioned that there's going to be a middle school music program.
Yes, our junior high kids participate in band, and then one of the things that we're going to start doing is we're going to start trying to offer music classes where we can start to slowly transition them into having their own choir also.
Right, I was going to wonder. I was wondering if there was a middle school choir yet.
It's part of the long-term plan, not necessarily this year, but that is definitely something that we're starting to work on. We're always working on adding electives and things like that. So this year is kind of our transition year with having the 6th graders back and being in a new space. So hopefully by the next school year we'll have all these things in place. So
wonderful. Jim, do you have something else to tell us about the elementary campus and things that are?
We're going to go to mass.
Yes,
we're going to go to mass twice a week.
What's y'all's mass? Is it?
It's the same as it was last year. We'll go Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we attend as an entire campus, and then we'll attend First Friday Mass as well. We'll start that pretty much the first week of school. I think we're going to start going to Mass that Tuesday. We start. The kindergartners and the preschoolers might only go once a week. The church is not far. It's just a block away, but they've got really little legs.
Yeah.
And it's a task to get them over there and back. And so we think, for the preschoolers, they probably do once a week. The kindergartners, it's really until Monsignor says they're ready. And in the past, it's always been, kinder only goes once a week until Christmas. But then last year, Monsignor says, absolutely not. They're ready. Let's get them going twice a week. So It just really depends. But we'll keep our same schedule. And about twice a year, I think once in the fall and once in the spring, we'll have an entire school mass. And they'll come over to the church, and the high school will come over to the church. And that's always nice. That's always a really nice occasion. That church is jam-packed, and that's what's really, really nice.
It's a very beautiful mass.
Yeah,
it is. Absolutely.
Do we still have the Living Rosary?
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Can't remember. Was that in December? I know it's a Marian feast day, but I don't remember.
I forget. I don't know why.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
I always like to ask people questions and make them feel awkward when they're on the radio.
Well, I'll tell you
it's
what.
something that I'm looking for.
I'll get back to you about that.
Okay.
And you can put in your announcements next time.
Yeah. Well, Blake, what helps you get through the day?
Just going there and knowing I'm going to get to see those kids. I mean, it's the best part of my day. I absolutely love my staff. I love doing what I do, but nothing tops that, at the end of the day or during the day when those kids come to your office and are excited about something that they achieved. So that's what kind of keeps me going. And it's the reason I do what I do every day is to get to that school and try to help those kids be successful.
So what would be the best way for a new family, a parent, to get in touch with you and learn more about the school?
They can
one-on-one?
Call the school and at 822-6641 and ask to speak to Margaret Teachin. She's our actually, she's everything.
That's what I was alluding to earlier.
Yeah, she really does run that school, but she does all of our admissions and things like that. So any admissions questions that you have, she can answer. And then for anything else curriculum-wise, or if you want a tour or, just curious, just ask to speak to me or April Kleiber, my counselor, is very helpful when it comes to things like that. So ask to speak to one of us, and we'll set up a tour for you or answer any questions you have. And we'd love to have you on our campus, even if you just want to come and visit.
Absolutely. Margaret and I went to school together. We're a product of the Caldwell Independent School District.
Yeah, she's the real boss.
Yeah.
I'll be going to my 40th class reunion this weekend, and
congratulations!
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Their class is also invited, so I hope to get to see Margaret and Tim.
Yeah.
And something you want to tell us about the elementary campus that someone listening might not know, or
we have room for you.
Yes.
Please come by.
And
stop by anytime. You can give us a call, send me an email. Just stop by. I'll be more than happy to give you a tour of the campus. I think you'll. I absolutely love the elementary campus. It's when you first walk into the front entrance. It's you can definitely tell. Okay, this is a fairly new building. But then you go to the ramp, you go through our cafeteria, and then it's like, wow, okay, now this is really, really incredible. And every single tour, every single person that comes through and walks through our campus, when they go to that older part, they say, you know what, this feels like a real schoolhouse. This feels like, and I keep on hearing the terms, well, it's not stale or sterile for like you see in the public schools with the colors. Like, we are doing some repainting. The walls have a yellow tint to them, and it's the color they painted was yellow, and it's very pleasing to the eyes, but it's time for a change. So I have some parent volunteers who are spending their time up there, and they're repainting our walls, and it's looking really, really
I'm sure
great.
You could use some help.
Oh, we
more parent
always need
volunteers. Alumni volunteers.
It's exactly
anyone.
Right. I mean, right now, Blake and I, we laugh and we joke and we vent to each other about how much we have to get done before, our teachers are coming back starting Monday, because they're coming back. The bishop passed down that all of our teachers in the Austin Diocese will go through the basic religious education classes. It doesn't matter if they're Catholic or not Catholic, which is really great. But we got to give them their classes, their hours, the religious education hours.
I know the name of it, and I can't think of it.
It's
renewing the vision.
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe that's right.
And so it's basically what you get in RE. And so, we're going to be completing about 30 to 35 hours this first week. And so all the teachers are coming back, and boy, time just gets away from you. So yeah, we're always needing help. It's basically, I was telling Blake, I just need like 3 or 4 people just to follow me around all day. And I can say, hey, let's pick up that and let's move it over there. Pick up that and let's move it there. Okay, now move it back over there. It's just all these little things that.
Well, as we're saying that, I'm going to
manpower.
mention the opportunity for people to call the studio right now at 85 Love Red Sea. If you'd like to volunteer and can help and follow Jim Reich around for the day and take his orders of do this and move that, you can call 855-683-7332. You can contact him at what number?
822-6643. 822-6643.
Since he's already said that he won't answer the phone because he won't be in the office.
Because I'm moving stuff. I'm carrying stuff around, and it's
that just
really,
doesn't
really
sound
busy.
like much fun to me. I don't know if I'd want to do that. So.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left of the show, and I was just like to offer you the opportunity to say something that you want to be sure to get in about St. Joseph Schools, about the changes that are going on, the kickoff day, the opening mass, any of those kind of things that you'd want to mention.
So we have school starts. The first day of school is going to be August 17th. The week of August 10th, we have Meet the Teachers. We're going to have basically 4 Meet the Teachers, and down
That's
at the
a great
elementary.
idea.
Yeah.
Let me affirm you in that.
Absolutely.
So it is like a cattle call
Yeah.
in that hallway, and it's like, when my kid gets in trouble, then I'll meet the teacher.
Yeah, right.
I'm out of here.
Well, it's really great because I know down at the elementary, this is an opportunity for the parents. They usually bring in their school supplies, and that way it's in the classroom. It's there. It's waiting on them. They're to the first day, and it's one less thing you have to worry about that first day of school. So meet the teacher. We've got the entire staff that's going to be there for the elementary. Excuse me. Wednesday, August 12th, from 3 to 4, we're going to have the pre-K and the kindergarten. Pre-K and the kindergarten meet the teacher, and we're going to have them separate. And then on Thursday, we'll have the rest of the elementary 3 to 4. So Wednesday is the pre-K and kinder, Thursday is the rest of the elementary, and that's August 12th and August 13th. And it's a great opportunity for everybody to not only meet your teacher, but to meet the rest of the staff. And this is always really fun and exciting because it's kind of like the pre-first day celebration in a way. Everybody's there. Everybody's great to see each other. There's a lot of just fellowship and to see all the kids, how much they've grown just in 2 months. It seems like a year. And so that's really, really exciting. Those are two very important dates that are coming up for us. And then for the secondary campus, I'll let Blake.
Yeah, our dates kind of go in line with that. On Wednesday, August the 12th, we have our junior high meet the teacher, and then on Thursday, the 13th, is the high school campus meet the teacher, and they're from 4 to 5 during that time. So it kind of goes together with the elementary school, and you can get to one or the other. But and then one of the things I wanted to mention too was that if there are any alumni out there, we'd love to have you back at the school and just to come by, even if it's at the Early Learning Center campus, because I know that's where most people went to school. But anytime,
That's where I went to school.
Anytime you want to drop by, we love to have alumni back on our campus. We worked this summer. Patty Blazek did, working on getting our alumni set up, and we've got a nice meeting space for the alumni now. When they come to our campus, they do a lot of memorabilia swaps and things like that, which I think are really cool. And sometimes I just go in that office and I'll look through old pictures for hours. I don't know who any of these people are, but it's funny just to look at some of those old pictures.
I got
like
stuck
that.
yesterday. I walked in there with my wife, and while I was visiting, I was showing her the junior high campus, because every single time you go to the junior high campus, you really are just like, oh, wow. And it's
Step
not
back in time.
And right now, in the secondary campus, the high school looks fantastic as well. But the junior high, it's like, wow, because it's new, and it's so exciting because it is truly their campus. I mean, it is a separate. It's not like, oh yeah, it's the high school. Oh, and then we keep the junior high down there. No. It is a junior high campus, and I think that's what I love so much about it. And Blake and everybody he's been working with have done such a fantastic job with that campus. But I was showing my wife, and we were ooh and ahhing over the junior high, and we came back, and he's like, go take a look at the alumni room that Patty Blazek's been working on. Oh, we got stuck in there for like 20, 30 minutes. We were just peeking our heads in, but then you see the pictures and you're like, oh, let's go look. And then Patty starts showing you stuff from like, 50, 60, 70 years ago. And it's, trying to keep it preserved. And it's really, it's amazing. Yes.
It's who we are.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
our history. And whether you're a part of it or not, it's just a microcosm of the Catholic faith.
So whether you go in there looking for pictures of yourself, or like I found when I was digging through one, and I was like, that's the back of my head. That's me. I know it is, because that's my
There's
friend.
The horns.
Yeah.
The horns are right there.
You're funny. But so you go in there, but then whether you go in there to look for pictures of yourself, or you're like, oh hey, look, I found one of Mrs. Knighton, and Mrs. Castillo, two teachers that are still teaching here, and these this was several years ago. And it's really interesting to see the kids, and it's like, oh, they just graduated. This is their 3rd grade photo. It's really neat. Or to see people around the community.
And you probably get to see a progression of Monsignor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, you sure do.
What a dedication this man has. I mean, thank God for all of our priests and everything, but for his love and passion for not only his parish, but for the school, and his support and guidance is just a remarkable man.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, his pictures go from the dark-headed Monsignor to the gray-headed Monsignor. You can see it kind of transition right before your eyes, looking at all the pictures. But
still a nice hair, and there's nothing wrong with gray.
No, absolutely not.
I just thought I'd throw that in there. And Blake, tell us about the football schedule and some activities that
we have lots of activities coming up. Our first home football game is the last Friday in August. I'm not sure what the exact date is, and then that Wednesday before the last
That would be the 28th.
28th, I believe that's right. And then, so the 26th will be our kickoff pep rally out at the athletic complex, and that starts at 6 o'clock. And it's just the first pep rally of the year, try to get all the families out, create some excitement about the new school year. And it's always a fun time out there. All the kids enjoy it. And then that kind of leads into our football and volleyball seasons. And when that gets going, I feel like when the first home football game gets here, there's no turning back now. It's time for school
moment and an uh-oh moment all at the same time.
School has officially begun. So, but yeah, and we always check the school website for the calendar and any event that's going on. Public is always welcome to attend. Come out and watch our kids compete. I think you'll be quite surprised with the level of competition that our kids put on the floor for a small Catholic school. I think when people come and watch our kids play that are just sports fans, they're always tell me they're really impressed with how hard our kids play and how well they play and how reverent they are when they play. And so I take a lot of pride in that.
Oh, praise God.
Knowing that our kids make that impression in the community. So anytime you can, especially a Friday night football game, those are fun. You see the whole community out there, and it's just a big family event.
And they're also on Red Sea Catholic Radio. You can listen. Sometimes my daughter goes to Comeaux, so when I'm riding back home, I can still hear the play-by-play of that. So if you had one thing that could really be a huge help to you in the upcoming weeks to help with the kickoff, with something that needs to get finished up before the teachers get here, what would that, Jim, can you think of anything that somebody could help you with? Or
I don't think we have enough time to talk
I just
about
said
my
one.
list.
Just one.
To be honest with you, if anybody out there that is interested in volunteering some time, please call me. Please call me, and we can work around like, hey, I can just be like, this is what I kind of need done. And because it's hard to say just one major need, but it's hey, I can only give 30 minutes, or I can give an hour. Perfect, no problem. This is what I can find something for you to do.
Absolutely.
And so we just appreciate any volunteer work or any help because it gets them into the school.
Absolutely.
And hopefully that'll get somebody that's never been in the school. Come take a look. Come walk the halls and see for yourself what's going on, all the great things that are happening.
Yeah, like I was talking about in our calendar session of it, maybe somebody was a huge help at one time when their kids were there. Well, now maybe you have a different way of helping the school. And, of course, prayer support would be
absolutely
Always
huge.
appreciate it.
Absolutely. Blake, do you have a need that you'd like to put out there?
Yeah, I was going to say, the best thing that you can do for our school is to pray for our school. But, outside that physical labor, I can't think of any immediate need before school starts, but we have our big golf tournament coming up.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that? I don't think I did a good job.
Yeah, August the 3rd is our annual golf tournament, and we're always looking for volunteers for that. We're always looking for sponsorships. We're always looking for people to play. So Patty Blazik and Gentry Woodard, who I didn't mention earlier, and I should have, is our new advancement director for the school, and they've been working on the golf tournament, and the other day they told me that they've almost filled up all the playing slots, which is awesome for a golf tournament.
This week's bulletin says that there's 3 more golf teams needed to fill it up.
Yeah, that's really good that they've gotten that many teams. So if you want to play and you want to take up one of those last 3 spots, just call the office and ask to talk to Patty or Gentry, and they can get you hooked up on that. Or if you're interested in doing a sponsorship or just volunteering, just call us and we'll
there's
have
our
something
need
for you can do.
That's our need right there. It's the golf tournament. Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Or maybe someone could volunteer to answer your phone.
Sure.
Maybe they could do that until your friend gets in. Well, I sure want to thank you guys for being here and sharing your passion for the school and your love for your jobs. And I know that it's going to be an exciting year and see the blessings that are going to be rained down upon us for your efforts.
We're definitely excited.
God bless you guys.
Yeah. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for everything y'all do and for having us.
Yep.
Absolutely. And as we come to the end of our program, when choosing, I love to say this because it's in reflection to Megan, who
it's a throwback to Megan Silas days.
So I like to wait till the music starts playing. So
how's that?
Thank you. There we go. Thank you to Jim Reich and Blake Evans for being here today. And just remember, when choosing between the values of heaven and the world, always round up.